So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to those here and connecting online. So let's settle into our cool evening, taking this time to settle in and set up the mind, setting up our mind for meditation, enabling an inner, calm, conscious, composed way of knowing the present moment. The mind becoming free from distraction, distortion, even free from delusion, enabling a calm, conscious clarity, a conscious knowing, rightly perceiving, rightly receiving the experience of the present moment, each present moment a moment of life, which we can live in a full, conscious, mindful way. So with our eyes gently closed, bringing awareness within and having an initial deep, relaxing, letting go breath, breathing out any stress, tension that might have been building in our body over the happening of the day, the happening of the week so far. Using this time to relax, release, let go, breathing out stress, tension, disengaging the mind from the ways of the world, roles and responsibilities, feeling into the moment through coming to our senses, both literally and metaphorically. Feeling into our body with awareness, checking in on our sensory experience, appreciating how we know life correctly, directly is through the sensory experience. Noticing if we can have an objective approach, beginning with the sense of touch, basic touch sensations, touch of our feet connecting with the floor. So using mindfulness to sense and feel that contact, feet connecting with the floor. Then bringing our awareness up to sense and feel the touch of our body, connecting with the chair we're sitting on, meditation stool or cushion. Noticing that particular touch sensation. Our body connecting with the chair, cushion or stool, feeling that. Noticing how awareness of that doesn't require any particular judgment, comment, commentary, critique, complaint, but just a knowing, mindful knowing. Then bringing awareness up to our hands and fingers, resting in our lap, making sure they feel comfortable, adjusting them if we need to. Maybe one hand resting in the other, so we're feeling that particular sensation. Sensation of our skin, of hands and fingers as a warmth or coolness, softness or moistness. Just noticing. Maybe our hands, fingers also touching the fabric of our clothes. Sensing, feeling, noticing in the present. And bringing our awareness up to our shoulders, checking in on our shoulders. That shoulder area being a significant diagnostic area that relates to the body tension and even how we've been living our life over the day, the past few days, degree of tension, tightness in the shoulders, just sensing how they feel. And if they do feel tense and tight, then relaxing the shoulders, allowing them to relax and hang without disturbing the uprightness of our back. Relaxing the shoulders. Then with our awareness feeling down into the chest area, relaxing the chest area so we can breathe freely. Then feeling with awareness down into the abdomen belly area, place where we often feel emotion, hold emotion. If there's any tension, tightness there, maybe emotional contraction, even relaxing the abdomen belly, softening the belly so we can breathe freely, so the diaphragm can extend fully. And then feeling that soothing motion, the gentle rising up with the in-breath, relaxing down with the out-breath. Feeling that rising, relaxing, rising, relaxing, allowing the body to find its own natural rhythm and process of breathing. Then bringing awareness up to our face. Another area of sensation, sensitivity, noticing our face, maybe feeling the cool air against our face. And then from this sense of touch, moving awareness to the sense of sight and seeing. As we perceive light, some degree of light coming in through the closed eyelids, perception of lightness, brightness, color, patterning, or just a blankness, simply seeing. Then from the sense of sight and seeing, opening up to perceive the sense of sounds and hearing. Experience of audition, hearing, maybe a few sounds from in this room, some sounds from outside beyond the room. No need to think about the sound, but just simply listening to the tone, pitch, volume, layers, levels of sounds, all occurring on the background of silence. Listening to the soundscape of life happening just here, just now. And checking in on the other two physical senses, sense of smell, sense of taste. Maybe noticing the smell, aroma, fragrance in this room, incense, and also any residue, taste in the mouth. Simply noticing. And if thoughts arise, then they arise as the sixth sense, the mental sense of thoughts, thinking. All thoughts occur either as a mental image that we see, or a mental sound, voice that we hear. So thoughts being just mental sound, mental sight that we can notice, be objective to, and even not have to get caught into. Developing this arena of awareness, receptive, attentive, knowing in the present. Helping the mind move or be deconditioned from clinging or condemning, reacting or resisting, denying or distracting, but finding this alignment with the reality, the truth, the facts of fundamental experience, pure and simple, in the moment, just as it is. And for the purpose of meditation, taking up the primary object of meditation being the felt experience, the sensation of the breath, particularly the inflow, outflow sensation of the breath at the nose nostril area, as a reference point for connecting into the present. Each and every breath always only experienced right here, right now. Awareness of breath, one breath at a time. Enabling an inner calm composure, the feeling of being present. Please help yourself to some tea, biscuits, if you wish. Last Thursday, I was not sitting here. I was resting, having come out of some day surgery. So Justin was able to look after the group and share some meditation and some reflections. So I thought this evening to maybe find out what you heard and any particular learnings or insights or understandings from what you heard last week, and also any thoughts or clarifications, maybe how you've used some of the ideas that Justin may have shared last week. Anyone like to share what you heard?
I think Justin did particularly well last week. I really it was nice to mix up the meditation a little. Particularly liked the technique Justin shared of moving our bodies in a circle and then noticing how that felt once some balance came about, and then also returning after some discussion, after initial meditation and then some discussion, returning to a shorter meditation towards the end before reflecting some more. So, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
And what was the topic that Justin spoke about?
We've been trying to think.
The topic was, I've been trying to think.
For those of us who weren't here, I can just recap.
You didn't know you were going to come and have a test.
Be clear, so I'm taking notes.
Anna, what do you remember?
All of it, but it has actually popped in my mind quite a bit this week. So I'm driving. You were talking about the meaning of summer, right?
Yeah.
As perhaps a word that means right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and what that means to you and how you find it. And yeah, it's nice.
Good.
And major discoveries for me, but just been reflecting on it just in my daily life.
That's a good topic. Scott, anything that you remembered or that were found insightful?
Yeah, when we did a little bit of a second sit and we were sitting with the question, I think it was, what does summer feel like? And I remember that being helpful, and I was saying I helped to orient my attention in a helpful way, so instead of kind of getting fixated on what's wrong.
Sure, yeah.
Kind of found that to be
So the feeling of the sammā, the feeling of the brightness as a somatic body felt sense. Yeah, because I guess yes, the word sammā in Pali generally translated as right, but it's more than just the word right. It's as with all the Buddhist teachings, it needs to be practical, applicable, useful, and not just a cognitive type of understanding, but something that's embodied. You know, we can all read about enlightenment and even understand maybe what enlightenment is in terms of how it's described, but it's the actual feeling, experience of enlightenment or meditation or peace or compassion, the actual embodied lived experience of it that becomes significant. And particularly also of right or sammā as well. Many of the Buddhist teachers talk about the fact that yes, in Buddhism and particularly Theravada Buddhism, the language of Pali, which is the early Buddhist language, is used, and that it's sometimes difficult, challenging, problematic to find one good English word that corresponds to the Buddhist word, the Pali word. And so what's often suggested is to maybe have 2 or 3 or even more English words, and to get a sense of together what they might suggest or feel into, and then relate that back to the Pali word. So even like the Pali word sammā, which we tend to sort of hear it used, particularly in the Eightfold Path, the practice path in Buddhism. There's 8 elements, and so that they're all prefixed with the word sammā, which is usually translated as right, but we could also use other words, right or correct or skillful or wholesome, even the word rightly or rightly so, to get a sense of what the sammā aspect might mean. And I think that in a way, the whole of Buddhist practice is about finding that sammā approach to to life. That which we could say is the simply so, the rightly so, the correct balance, a skillful, wholesome, healthy approach, which is often described as the middle way, the Majjhima Patipata, the middle way of practice, the middle path between the extremes, so that there's a sense of balance happening there. And even like health-wise, generally we could describe health as a state of optimum balance, wholeness, alignment, and illness is the manifestation of imbalance, lack of harmony, lack of wholeness. And even then psychologically, the sense of when we are rightly aligned, then there's a sense of ease, there's a sense of happiness, life flows well, the sense of alignment, or what we could even call Dhamma. The Buddhist word Dhamma, which is often described as truth, but this also means sort of the nature of things, the natural law of things. So that when we are aligned to the law of things, the nature of things, the way of things, that's when there is that balance, that wholeness, that wholesomeness, that even holiness as well, that comes through, and there's a sense of ease and well-being. And that then helps us to appreciate that when we're unaligned, out of whack, out of balance, then the experience is stress, distress, dis-ease and disorder, both physically, mentally, emotionally, in life as well, even socially. You could say that the social situation, the environment, or culturally out of whack, out of balance, there's issues happening. So it's like a lack of alignment. And so that then even the word dukkha, another Buddhist word, dukkha, which means a bad alignment. Generally, dukkha is translated as suffering, but it's more than suffering. It's, yes, the suffering, but it's also stress. It's also unease, a sense of disharmony, disequilibrium, dis-ease. And then the word sukha means a sense usually translated as happiness, well-being. But it's also a sense of well-being, a sense of ease, a sense of alignment. And the Buddha used the words sukha and dukkha, but they relate back to a fundamental term where dukkha was used to describe a bad connection. The way that a connection, a wheel, like a wooden cart wheel, connects into the axle. If it's not connected properly, then it squeals, it wobbles, it wears. The ride is sort of wobbly. So it's a dukkha, a bad fit, bad connection. And then a sukha is a good fit. Everything sort of aligns. It's sort of connecting. It's not squealing. It's right. But again, for ourselves, we can go, okay, well, am I rightly aligned in my life? Am I living a life with balance and rightfulness and rightly so, aligned to the order of things, the truth of things, the way of things, the natural law of things? Or is there dukkha happening? A sense of unease and distress and upset and suffering, which means, okay, come back into alignment, come back into alignment. And again, we're healing that process of returning, restoring back to balance, harmony, and wholeness. And that's when things flow well. So that even the Eightfold Path, which we've got on the chart here, is a path. It's a practice path, but it's also a way of aligning. Am I living my life according to sammā ditthi, seeing things in the right way, seeing what is the truth of things, particularly seeing the Four Noble Truths? Am I engaging the right use of thought? So yes, we could say there are right thoughts and wrong thoughts, but it's also the right use of thought, which is not like just overthinking or underthinking. It's the right use of thought. Most people are overthinking. So the right use of thought, the right use of speech. Yes, there's ideas of what is right speech and what is wrong speech, like lying and slander and gossip. That's sort of not wholesome. That's not healthy. It's not right. But also, even in speaking, are we using speech in the right way? Not just wholesome, healthy speech, but using speech as a communication tool in the right amount, right use, right actions, skillful, wholesome, healthy actions. But again, also the right amount of activity or actions. And then into right livelihood. So not just what is wholesome livelihood, what is healthy livelihood, but the right amount as well. Are we wearing out, burning out, doing so much good stuff, but where it's affecting our health? Or we're working so much, doing such lots of good things, but we're not spending enough time with our other obligations, maybe to family, or even to ourselves. And then right effort, putting in the right amount of effort, not too much, not too little, which can often need to be modified at times, even in the day, like in the morning, maybe put in lots of effort. Energy's there, but we have to modify that over time because afternoon get a bit weary. We can't put in as much effort in the afternoon as we put in the evening, or on a Thursday compared to a Monday. So sort of modulating, modifying our effort according to what is right for where we're at. And then into the right use of mindfulness. So that using mindfulness in the right way, not just in a wholesome way, but in the right amount as well. Someone, if they're too mindful, it can be too intense. So the right skillful use of mindfulness. And then even into then the last path element, concentration or meditation. The right use of concentration within meditation for enabling deeper states of mind. And even with these 8 elements of the Eightfold Path, yes, they're all prefixed with right, wholesome, skillful, sammā, but using them, collecting them in the right way. And sometimes we might need to use a bit more of one than another. So it's having the wisdom to determine and discern what's the right amount. The path is often spoken about as, yes, there's individual elements, but the practice path is all of these coming together. So when you the right way of practicing is to practice them all together. It's a bit like strands, a path that's made up of strands. When you step onto the path, you're stepping onto all the strands. It's like the like the carpet, let's say. Or like a rope. This rope, you can use this rope to get free to climb up the mountain or down the mountain or off the mountain. And the rope is made up of eight strands bound together. If you use just one, it's probably going to break. But using the eight are put together to make a very strong, stable rope to find safety. So even just having an understanding of how we can use the word sammā, right, wholesome, skillful, aligned in our life can be really, really helpful. And the question, okay, so my life, am I living an aligned life? Is my life in flow? Is there a sense of ease, well-being, contentment, joy? Or am I stressed, I'm struggled, I'm straining, I'm upset, I'm overwhelmed, I'm confused, or I'm lazy and nothing much is happening. I'm dull, I'm bored. sort of a bit of a check-in for our life. And even in that, to go sometimes it may be that a rightly aligned life may mean that there's hours of the day that's the downtime, quiet time. Might be in the morning doing some meditation or doing some exercise. Other times in the day, there's lots happening, quite intense. Or in the week, rightly aligned life, there's hopefully a couple of days in the week where we can take a bit of a rest, take a bit of a break. Over the context of a year, there's time for work, but there's also time to stop, take a break, go away, have a holiday. And then even over the context of one's whole life, there's times when we're not doing as much as what we used to do. Retirement, that sort of thing that comes in. Or a period where we're just going to have a sabbatical year off, or we're not well, take a break. So designing our life so it's rightly operating, rightly balanced, rightly whole and wholesome and worthwhile. And I think again that's where the Buddhist path of engaging wisdom to enable that sense of finding our flow in life becomes something special. So what are your thoughts on that as an approach? A sammā, right, wholesome, skillful approach to life.
That's the Pali word sammā in any way derived or related to, I think, the Hindu word sammā, which means Lord.
Which means
Lord, I think.
Lord? I don't think so.
Totally different.
Yeah, well, there can be words that sound similar, right, but they're not quite the same. This one's sammā, S-A-M-M-A.
Oh, right, instead of S-A-M-A. Well, the world certainly seems to have lost all of that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's hard to not get dragged around that because people are not worried, writers, but what people think is right is what they're emoting or what button someone's pushed on. And it's all emotional.
Well, right can become righteousness as opposed to what is rightly balanced or rightly so or wholesome. But I think we can all sort of recognize that we've lived long enough to see how unbalanced the world is at the moment. Hence people's distress, and not just people that we know, but cultures that are in distress, countries that are in distress, and major stuff that's happening in a significant way, even nature that's in distress as well.
It's hard not to get hooked by it. I find it's hard not to get hooked. Not to get dragged into it. This is, I suppose, I'm not big on social media. YouTube, news, anything now. It's sort of all designed rather than trying to give you an opinion, not an opinion, but the facts as such. It's just.
Well, often it's not providing any solution. It's just sort of like
it's just a trigger.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I spoke about the idea of micro to macro correspondence. So a microcosm into the macrocosm, and that even in like a mind moment in meditation can relate to how you've been living your day or the previous day. Even your meditation can relate to what's going on in your life, mind, body at the time. But also how we enable our meditation can flow on into the outflow of our life. But certainly if we're able to appreciate the micro to macro correspondence, macro to micro correspondence, so that if we can actually be proactive in setting up our mind, our sense of self, and then our unfolding life in a way that has that balance, harmony, and wholeness, that can also flow on into the broader context of yes, our life, but affecting other people's lives as well. So that's where we can actually be more proactive in having an effect on the bigger picture. The more people that practice meditation and coming back to right alignment, then that can then flow on, because like for us here this evening, going home to wherever you go to whoever you go to at home or next day, what we've enabled and felt into, spoken about, reflected about will have an effect on how we are tomorrow and affect other people and into the weekend, and so sort of it flows out. The ripples flow out. Because none of us live in isolation. Even if we live in a cave or a shed, we're never isolated. We're connecting with others in some way, in some form.
Yeah, thank you for such a bigger sort of framework around that, the meaning summer that I started last week. It seems, yeah, it can be a really good entry point into, yeah, I guess relating to life as it's unfolding. I was just sort of, as you were speaking, just maybe because I was reading before about the 5 precepts and the motivation behind the 5 precepts, or the importance of is it satana? Is that the word for motivation, or intention?
Jatana?
Maybe that's the pronunciation, yeah. Well, not maybe, I'm sure it is. But I'm just wondering how that connects, that kind of intention, how it could connect with maintaining, not just reflecting on what I did or what I said or what I thought as, did it have sammā, but like how does it then, how can you use that intention to make sure that that's happening in the moment, or even before an activity starts, and is sila or having that framework a way to have that intentional relation.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, in that which is a really good reflection or consideration to have, that sort of inner check. What is my intention, which we could then see through the thoughts that might be there, or the view that might be there. What's my view that I'm coming at this from? What are the thoughts in the context of that view? What's the feeling of this? And is it coming from the 3 ills, greed, anger, or ignorance, or is it coming from generosity, kindness, or wisdom, which then could help us to determine whether it's appropriate to engage or not. But having that sort of mindful check-in can be really, really good, because the result, if and then even reflecting upon, so what's the result of this? Is it something that's led to ease and well-being or not? And if not, then okay, maybe there might have been something that was misaligned or not quite right in my intention or my motivation, or even just not mindful of the fact of what the consequences were going to be.
So the root is mindfulness, I guess, isn't it? Being mindful of the unfolding.
Yeah, so
then it can be a check-in in that mindfulness.
Well, good to check the intention, the cetana, intention, and so the mindfulness is like the turning the light on, because sometimes there's the intention there, but we're not particularly aware of it. It's either unconscious, subconscious, even like some sort of primal drive or just a habit. So just bring the light in, check the light of mindfulness. What's the intention here? And is it wholesome or not so wholesome? Is this worthwhile or not? Is it skillful or not? Is it, sammā or or micca, sort of not wholesome.
Mm. Is it creating dukkha? Is it creating sukha?
And also we know that sometimes even with healthy, wholesome intentions and healthy, wholesome acts, they can sometimes still cause dukkha. So not all dukkha is bad. The Buddha spoke about there can be the healthy dukkha, which is like the dukkha that comes from putting in right effort as opposed to just being lazy. The dukkha of sitting meditation at times, or the dukkha of going without something at times. It's like, yeah, it's uneasy. There's some stress in that, but it's the sort of pain or unease that leads ultimately to the ending of pain and unease. Putting in the right effort.
So the feeling of being unaligned leads to something that ultimately would be aligned.
Yeah, it's like going on a retreat. You go on a retreat, okay, no TV and no phones and maybe no caffeine and so forth. It's like, oh, this doesn't feel right. This is really stressful. This is not a sense of, I don't feel at ease, but no, this is something which will lead ultimately to more ease and well-being, putting oneself into that situation.
No pain, no gain.
Exactly. Well, it's the right sort of pain.
The right pain.
Yeah, right. It's got to be sammā.
Sammā dukkha. Yes.
The original motivator. Yeah. Okay.
Well, give that some thought. You know, it's particularly a great topic of Justin's to reflect upon sammā and finding that sort of balance, alignment, and it's a really good topic to reflect upon and to use in our life. Very good. Thanks for coming out tonight. Stay well and stay warm, and see you next time.